Everybody, John Henderson Pierre, Beer and TV Ramble, looking at Miller Genuine Draft, released in 1985. Some say it's the same recipe as Miller High Life, but the difference is it's cold filtered. Saw this at what was I? It's been making a comeback lately at some of the stores, some of the grocery stores here in this area. It was around back in when I moved down here, 07, 08, 09, and then it's for some reason disappeared. But now, uh, after 09, it kind of disappeared. The last couple of months has been making a comeback this past year. So I guess within 09, that's about 5 years, 6 years. So I'm eating with some French fries right now. 4.7 ABV by volume. Doesn't get a lot of love on Beer Advocate. I think it's 50 and the brothers. Beer Advocate gives a 53 score, and the brothers give it a 57, which is bad, awful. But amazingly, it won Gold Cup in 1998 for in its category American Adjunct Lager, and then won the silver medal at 2003 Great American Beer Festival. It's amazing that these beers that we like to call piss on and are saying crap beers or urine, it tastes like piss, win. But I'm having some burgers and some French fries with this beer. I like High Life a lot, but I really like this one. Typical adjunct smell to this beer. I'm very easy going down. Very crisp and refreshing too. I've had this in the freezer for a while. And the running gag is, Miller High Life is Miller. And like I said, as I mentioned, it is the same recipe of everything. The beer and this beer and High Life, but they dropped the name. It was going to be Miller High Life Genuine Draft, but they kept it Miller Genuine Draft now. When this beer came on the scene, I remember, sorry, very well done. I remember when it came on the scene. I remember that was a popular advertisement. Miller was really pushing this beer, and the sales were doing very well. You still High Life was still around, but Miller was really pushing this and Miller Lite um, at the time. And I remember during the NBA on NBC during their heyday and during their coverage back in the '90s, Miller Genuine Draft, Miller Lite, they were really pumping that beer out, and a lot of great praise for this beer and everything. And I said one day I'll try it. And the first time I had this was back in started drinking, legal age. I was 1997, turned 21. But I remember I picked this beer up in 1998, a year later, group of friends, and we're sitting in the back of this bullshit, and we had the GD. So High Life was around, but wasn't as popular as it became back in the 2000s, and as here we are now. High Life, of course, its sales, are amazing. Being now as good as a budget beer, but it's a lot of praised by a lot of folks. This beer, and it's another beer I'm going to review probably sometime later. These are legacy beers. These are legendary beers. These are beers that are not going to be around. Savor it right now. And as you can see, Miller is trying to really push this beer back on the market again. And I say enjoy it, folks, because they'll be gone tomorrow. So, very smooth. Too overpowering. Again, Miller, even with the big beer companies, Miller, Anheuser-Busch and Bev, Coors, Brewing, quality control is first and foremost. Um, they don't put out crap. They make sure that you get a good beer at a good price, and they want you to enjoy this beer. That these beers are going to need to be enjoyed amongst family and friends. Um, Like I said, this is very, very well made beer. Quality, top notch, cleanliness, nothing evil about any of it. So I really like this a lot. I got another bottle I'm going to open up. Stand by 1 second. So, first draft taste, and it does have that thing. Now, when I went to a bar, also remember around that time in '98, they had this on draft. Excuse me, 1999. Yeah, '98. Yeah, when I bought the bottles. Yeah. I haven't seen the cans. Maybe I don't remember. I know the cans were out there years ago. To the person see why I asked why I pour my beer. I pour my beer this way because I get more of it when I pour straight down. It doesn't work, but um, I'm going to think getting all over the place. So like I said, I pour like this, so it tilts on the side, and So um, anyway, for the style, my grade between 1 and 10 is a solid 9. So I'm gonna take the. I would give this an 8. Let's just be fair, 8.5. It's good. I like Milwaukee's best. I like High Life a lot. PBR I like too. Um, that's not a Miller beer, but that's not a beer by Miller, but I'm just saying. Um, but MGD has very good taste to it. Cold filter, gotta have this in the refrigerator, freezer, whatever. Not 40, but about 40 degrees, 38, 40 around that time. That's probably pretty decent temperature wise for this beer. Doesn't skunk at all whatsoever. Um, so it's just it's quite good. Like I said, they're making a comeback and they're bringing the beer back, and people are really enjoying. And I think people are hoping that there'll be more of the cans, more of the 12 packs, and just the 6 packs that we're seeing. So I'll make this short. Anyway, again, 8.5 for me on this beer. Great beer. Leave your comments. Tell me what you think. For Miller Genuine Draft, I really like it. 4.7 ABV. You can't go wrong. So won some awards again. So those supposed craft guys who dismiss it, and those beer snobs, but this is a good beer. So anyway, John and Sapir, the TV Ramble, Beer Ramble, saying keep watching and cheers.